Hey, Tansei, everybody. Treaty 6 Land and Title Symposium Coordinator Clayton Thomas-Muller here. I'm also a band member of our nation, Mathias Colomb Cree Nation. Um, Recently, due to unforeseen circumstances, I've had to resign from my position as coordinator of this exciting gathering that poses huge implications in terms of our nation's government's self-governance capabilities and capacity. Um, so I had to step back, but I did want to let you know um, a little bit about this project, which is all about helping our people and our elected leadership, and those from the outside that want to work with us, um, go through a process of learning from our past, preparing in the present to defend our collective future. So the project that I've been involved in is part of a much larger initiative of our nation to create a land management commission for our government. Now, this would be, an institution within our government that would have specialized staff, everything from GIS, satellite mapping specialists to, organizers and writers, and that office that we're trying to create through the conference I was hired to organize. We seek to empower our nation's membership to understand the past work, current work, and new opportunities and challenges in the governance of our treaty, water, climate, lands, and title. We aim to ensure our members are informed and actively participating in important decisions in our treaty and traditional territories, and inform the creation of a new arm of our governance that will greatly expand our nation's capacity. And as I mentioned, this is called the Land Management Commission. A land management commission is crucial for our nation's capacity for self-governance and for self-determination. A land commission will provide oversight in managing and maintaining agreements and consultation with all levels of the settler colonial state government, as well as private sector entities that are impacting our rights, lands, and waters. I would add our climate. This office will be a critical part of our Mathias Colomb Cree Nation maintaining a brain trust on treaty, land, and title, ensuring stability throughout changes in political leadership, like, for example, the upcoming election of our nation this fall in October of 2024. The Land Commission will provide the people, our people, and leadership with real-time access to historical documents, geo-satellite mapping, science and traditional ecological knowledge from our experts in our nation, and technical briefings for leadership in our nation's water, energy, transport, advocacy, land use, planning, and communications infrastructure. Also, that our people and elected leadership may have instant access to the most up-to-date information on managing our nation's land, water, and climate. The outcomes of this symposium will secure a mandate for this exciting new part of MCCN governance and capacity. Some of the things a Land Commission office could be responsible for are things like finding resolve on the treaty land entitlement file, which has had nothing done on it for 6 years, moving either way, for or against the Cows and Palows settlement, dealing with the historical wrongs of the treaty annuities, water protection policy for our nation, conservation, tourism, hydro, so this is things like easements, litigation, settlements. We need people on staff to monitor these agreements, the Natural Resources Transfer Act and its ongoing impact on our sovereignty and self-determination, as well as other federal acts It's important that we have good analysis on how these legal regimes impact our treaty and inherent rights and the development of our economic initiatives in our own lands here in the settler colonial state of Canada, what they now call Canada. The Land Commission Office could help Chief and Council, manage and just continue to provide oversight for impact benefit agreements, because these agreements stem over decades, and it can help our Chief and Council, with both current agreements and those that are under negotiations and ones that come in the future, and I'm talking, of course, of the Alamos project that we've been dealing with as a nation, but there's lithium mining and many, many other extractive industries that will want to operate in our territories and that will require impact benefit agreement negotiations that we as a sovereign nation need to be sitting at the table for, even if it's just to say no. The Land Management Office could help with our transportation assets, which continue to expand and provide critical employment and economic opportunities for Pugatawagan. Of course, I'm talking about our railway corridor, which we own all the way to Lynn Lake and to Churchill. I'm talking about the Port of Churchill itself, which of course will become the biggest export terminal in the hemisphere in the next decade as a result of the freeing Arctic sea ice and climate change. So, this is a major geopolitical event that's occurring in our lands that we absolutely need a brain trust like the Land Commission Management Office to be able to level the playing field a bit with the tens of thousands of people and billions of dollars that are going to be passing through our transportation corridor to the Port of Churchill into the foreseeable future. So this is stuff that the Land Management Office can help with. Of course, KRC and Mississippi Airways and all of our road and trail networks for Skidoo and our trappers and all the different trap lines and family camps. Those trails require maintenance, and we require our satellite mapping experts to help us map out new and efficient trails that we can build as we expand our nation's capability to hunt, fish, and trap in our traditional and treaty territories, and as we develop out specifically our nation's fisheries to some of the inland lakes that are near our railway system that are difficult, that are currently not being fished. There's a lot of opportunity there. And of course, land use planning. We've got the Harvester program, which has been doing incredible work. And of course, all of our land users, the headmen, and people that go out and live off the land and sustain themselves from the land. Conservation, construction, and maintenance of culturally sensitive medicine resources and ceremonial grounds. Our fisheries and trail construction are all things that a land management commission could assist Chief and Council in maintaining, regardless of who's in political leadership. This brain trust is really, really critical. Now, during the 2024 Treaty 6 Land and Title Symposium, MCCN plans for a series of plenary keynotes and panels highlighting the most pressing issues in our Treaty 6 lands and title portfolio. At the end of 2024 summer, both outside and local experts are to be invited to contribute to this symposium in our community to empower our membership and inform the most current opportunities and challenges that MCCN and our people face related to the protection, maintenance, and land use planning, conservation, and development of our lands, as well as the enforcement of our jurisdiction and our nation's policies pertaining to our lands, waters, and climates. Our nation believes in moving at the speed of our peoples, and this effort is part of that commitment. Currently, Council, has had myself as their organizer. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, they will need to hire a new coordinator. Original plans for myself or for this symposium was to warm things up in the spring with 4 speaker series events. However, due to circumstances including train breakdowns, funerals, power outages, health scares, local capacity to host out-of-town guests in the winter, as well as me being placed on call to support resolution on critical files such as the Alamos file, those events will now be followed up events in the fall to carry momentum from the presentations and the outcomes of the discussions at the Treaty 6 Land and Title Symposium at the end of summer. These fall and winter events should be hosted and organized by our Land Commission management staff. I'm in the process of moving home, so I'm definitely there if people have questions or need some guidance or advice. Funding for the project has been projected at $186,000, with $120,000 secured from our partners at Indigenous Services Canada and Nature United. We will need to determine the best date for the symposium. External factors have challenged the original dates of August 13th to the 16th. And all security, catering, and other duties will be local persons hired. So it's another opportunity to provide short-term employment opportunities, especially to young people in Puck. Anybody has any questions moving forward, Councillor Alma Hart is the portfolio carrier and responsible, along with Chief Gordy Bear, for this initiative. And, otherwise, for any questions or that, please do feel free to send me a DM or to call me out if you see me out on the streets or out on the lands. Okay, thank you. Higo sama.